Hello everyone. So in this video you're going to learn many things, and you do need for this one of these cinch machines. So either the mini cinch or the regular sized one. So I am going to teach you how to make these notebooks, which you might already know, but I will give you some very important tips on how to align your paper. If you do get frustrated with your cinch because sometimes the alignment is not perfect, I'm going to show you how to fix that. So we're going to make one of these together, but the main thing here is that I will show you how to make these beautiful boxes that can fit perfectly one of your little notebooks. So we're going to make this notebook together, and then I will show you how to make the box. You only use one sheet of paper, actually one piece of paper. It's not even one whole sheet. I believe with a 12 by 12 sheet of paper you can make at least two of these boxes. So for mini notebooks it's perfect. So we will learn all of that together, and I also offer a PDF that you can download, because you can either make the box open up this way, or you can make it open up this way. So I'll show you the measurements for this one, and also how to customize the size of your box according to the size of your book. See, this one is a little bigger, so how can I make one that's bigger than this? For that, for the customization, you would need to purchase the PDF, okay? But for this one, I'll give you all the measurements, and I'll show you step by step on how to make the little one, the little book that's inside, in the box that fits perfectly that, okay? So let's move on to the tutorial and have fun. So let's begin by making the little notebook. So I already have a few pages here punched and the back cover. So we're going to punch a few just to show you how to do that in case you haven't seen a tutorial before. And then we're going to, we're just going to put it together, okay? So let me give you the measurements first. So we need 5, I don't know how you call this thing here, but it's the binding wire, and you're just going to cut 5 of these hoops here. That's how I'm gonna call them. So 5, that's what we need. You're going to need chipboard or whatever you have, like a triple four layers of cardstock or whatever, or even a lot of people use cereal boxes. I don't, because I don't think that's sturdy enough, but you can always glue at least 2 or 3 layers. But just so you know, this is 2 5/8 by 3 5/8, and that's actually the size of the cover, okay? So that's the chipboard, because that's the size of the cover. The lining, which is this paper here, it's kind of hard to see because it's very bright, but this inside paper here, this one, that one is 2 3/8 by 3 3/8. So we're gonna put that there. The pages are 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. And I also have here not just the page, but I'm going to have some beautiful paper like dividers here. I'm going to use this double-sided, which is going to be the same paper that I'll use for the box. So I like to always add some colors inside and not have just the white paper, or this one is beige, but I'll have like 3 extra just to have like dividers inside. So that's the same thing. And then you have this piece of paper which is going to cover, to be the cover, okay? So this one is 4 1/8 by 5 1/8. You have all the measurements below, don't worry. So, and of course some ephemera here that we're going to use to decorate, but that comes after. Let's cut the page first, and then we're going to cover that, okay? So I'm gonna bring my cinch, my mini one. I already have some leftovers here, some wire. So here's how we're going to do this. So we know that the page is 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. So if you look here, when it's a full number or halves, which is the case here, we are going to use this on A, on position A. Let me show you. So here 1 or 1.5, position A, and that's where this one is, okay? So A. And all you need to do now is just make sure that you're punching the right side, yeah? And you're just going to push it all the way up. Make sure that it's hitting the wall here and punch. So it's perfectly aligned. We're going to do something different with the cover because, and I'll show you why we're going to do something different. But first, let's cover the cover. So before I do that, let me show you the paper that I'm using. This is a new one by DCYV. I bought it at Joann's. Beautiful paper. You saw that on my haul, my paper haul. But absolutely gorgeous paper. And that's what, oh, look at this one. Oh my goodness. Oh. Some papers I look at them and I go, I don't think I'll have the nerve to use it. Oh, this one is gorgeous too. So anyway, that's the paper. And let me give you a tip about paper. And you know, when you have inside, you have all these cutouts. Let me find them. I think on this one is at the end. Yeah, you have these cutouts and you need one. You cut and then you have some leftovers and then you lose it. You don't know what to do. Here's what I do with mine. This is what I do. I put them in a plastic bag and then I attach it with tape to the front of the paper pad. This way I know where it comes from and I'll never lose it. So there's a tip for you. So I'll put that aside. And this is the page that we are using. And this is for the box. So we're going to skip that. So let me zoom in so that I can show you how to do this. We're going to cover. You can use either liquid glue, or you can use double-sided tape. I use both. When I make small ones, I use liquid glue. I don't think we need to use double-sided tape as much, but if it's a big one, then I use double-sided tape because it's easier to see, like the bumps. And but when it's a small one like this, it really doesn't really show. So I'm going to just put a lot of glue here. And I use my bone folder, just turn it around. And use your bone folder to help the liquid glue spread, okay? There you go. Now we're going to cut. And what is the distance here? It's about 1/16 of an inch. Let me show you on my ruler here, because I know that some people struggle with that. So let me show you just the distance, okay? So this is 1/4, that's 1/8. The distance that you're going to leave is a little less than this, about half of that. So it's really a little bit. You don't need much of a distance there. Let me show you. I will cut it and then I'll show you, okay? Now I usually just go like that. See the distance there? It's very little. So I'll do that on all 4 sides. So we're going to work the paper. Always do this before you fold it, because many times it will crack here, but that's because you did not kind of warn your paper that that's what you're gonna do. You work the fibers a little bit just to avoid it from cracking. And I like to, before I even put glue anywhere, I like to just use my bone folder, because the paper now knows what I'm doing and what's going to happen, so you don't surprise the paper. And then you just, I usually put some glue here. And I use my bone folder like this to press it and then press it down. And then with your fingers, I often think that the best tool they ever invented, the 2 best tools are for crafting, one is the bone folder, the other one is your fingers. Sometimes nothing works except your fingers. So, same thing, use your bone folder here to press it in place, and then down like this. Usually works. And I say usually because as crafters, you know, sometimes what you do and always works doesn't. That's one of the laws of crafting. Use your bone folder to always press it down, make sure it's very flush. Last one. I used to be so intimidated by this, by using chipboard, but once you learn and you go, oh, it's just another medium, that's all it is. So there you go. See? Perfect edges here, perfect edges. No problem. When you have a problem here on the edges, it's because you cut it too far away. It is really close that you have to cut. So now we're going to glue this in place and then we're going to punch. And you have all these measurements down below. The only thing that you don't get the measurements for, but I do sell the template, and the link is in the description too, is for the box. I mean, for the box that I show, I do have the template below, I mean the measurements below, but if you want to make it differently, opening to the left, or just to learn how to customize, because the template shows you the sides that need to have the same measurement, so it's very easy to visualize how to customize your box in case you have another notebook of another size. So I really recommend getting that template. Okay, so we have that done, and now we're going to punch it. So now I have my cinch and we're going to punch the cover, and I want to show you something. I don't know if this has happened to you before, but I'm going to show you how to work around something that happens to me. I don't know if there's something wrong with this, with my cinch or whatever, but let me show you what I mean by that. So I have a paper here that is the same size, just so I show you. I don't want to punch the cover, okay? It's the exact same size, and here it's perfectly aligned. But here's the thing, if you look at the cinch and remember the measurement, this is 2 5/8. So if you come here, the cinch says 5/8, you're going to put your green thing here on B, right? So let's do that. And let me show you what happens if I punch it the way the cinch says to. So it's flush here and it's flush on the top, right? Right on the left side, it's all the way to the left and all the way up. Let me show you what happens. Do you see the difference? It is not aligned. The cinch, for some reason, with 5/8 does not work perfectly. That's why I always try, especially if it's a cover, I always try on a piece of paper first to see if it's working perfectly. It doesn't, it just doesn't. And it is 5/8. I can show you here. It is precisely 2, look at that, in 5/8. So here's what I do, and I do this with everything I do on the cinch. For some reason, it's just the 5/8 that I have a problem with, but here is how you go around that. See this area here? That's how I align everything I make on the cinch. So if you put this here and you look, you can see, let me come very close and let me get my X-Acto knife here. So if it's all the way flush to the left, and if you look, you can see that the distance between this and this is very short, but the distance between this and this, it's much wider, see? So you can tell that it's not aligned. So what I do is I align by looking at this and not this. This is just like a help. You go all the way to the left and then you move it a little bit, and then you can see when it gets perfectly aligned. And once it does, then I punch. And again, guys, it's with the 5" only that this happens to me. I don't know, you let me know if you have the cinch and if you have the same problem. So now it looks aligned to me, and I'm going to punch it now. See? It's perfect. Had I not done this with the paper before, I always try on a piece of paper, always, when I'm working with covers, because I don't want to have to cover another one. So there you go. That's a tip for you, for those of you who have a cinch, and if yours does have a problem with the 5/8. But this is how I aligned. So we have this ready. Now we're just going to decorate it, and I'm going to do it pretty fast because then we're going to move to the box. We're going to put this together, put the binding, and then I'm going to teach you how to do the box, okay? So let me just zoom in, play some music, and do this fast so you don't have to wait so long. There we go. So I decorated. I have a mix of many ephemera leftovers that I use. So use whatever you have. And now we're going to bind it. So here's how you do it. I already have 5 here, which is what I need. So you put it here. First, we're going to do the pages. The last one is always the back, okay? So we have your cover here facing you, and then the cover facing down because this is going to fold. So they face each other here. And then my other tip for you, if you've seen other videos, but I always like to show, the only way you're going to get this round, and many people say, I can never get this round. Here's why, because you may be putting it this way. You have to make sure that both the top and bottom, they hit this wall here. So this is how you put it, right there. Make sure that both are hitting that wall, okay? And then you're gonna get it right. So I'm gonna do that. Press it down, and there we go. I usually press it with my fingers if I think that it's a little bit distant. We don't need to take it back, so we'll flip it over, and we have our beautiful book here. Look at that. And here's what I forgot. I forgot to put these lines here. Anyway, in any case, I'm not gonna go back, so I would just spread it around like 3. I'm just gonna leave it as is. So I would just put one here, and one here at the end. Just spread it throughout your books, just so you have some pages. I'll use this for my next one. Handmade, we make mistakes, and there you are. But for the sake of the video, I'm not doing this again. So anyway, now let's make the box. So you need a piece of paper that is 11¼ inches by 2 7/8 of an inch, okay? So we are going to, let's do the 11¼ first. So on the 11¼ we're going to score it at 1, 5 1/8 of an inch, 6 1/8 of an inch. This distance here is 1 inch, okay? So 6 1/8 of an inch, and 10 1/4. So 4. I'm using a double-sided paper, so I love with boxes. I usually do that. And here, as I said, the distance is 1. So we're going to do 1 and 3 7/8. So we're going to have 1 inch here and 1 inch here. Okay, if you get my PDF, you will learn how to do these calculations on different sizes of notebooks, okay? So everything's colored, so it's very easy to follow. So we're done with that. Put that aside, and now we're going to fold in scoring lines. Oops. And if you want to learn how to customize lidded boxes, so it's not just one piece of paper, it's two, I'll have the link below to my video that teaches you how to do that, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to cut here. See these folding lines here? Cut here and here and here, okay? So, and I cut at an angle here just a little bit to make it easier to fold. Same thing here. You cut straight to the sides, but the folding one at an angle. Same thing on the other side. I hope you guys are not listening to the very heavy rain here. It's Portland. Portland is like that. Rains all the time. It's like London. So there you go. We have everything we need. Everything's cut. So all we need to do now, it's very simple. I think I'm going to, I think I'm going to decorate first. Very easy decoration here. So this is going to be the lid. We're going to just use this tag that's from the same paper pad, and that's why I love these paper pads, because they come with cutouts that you can use. I added some foam on the back just to give it some dimension. So I'm going to use this here like at an angle like that, and then I have a punch that cuts these beautiful butterflies. I use my gel pen to just add some dots, and there we are. Very simple decoration, very spring, and I think I'm just gonna add it here. Use my bone folder to press it down, and there you are. Very easily, quick decoration. See? So that's what it's gonna look like. So how do we do this? So let's do the front first. So we're going to put some glue on both of these flaps here. Same thing here. And we're going to glue very flush here on the corner like this, okay? Same thing on the other side. We're going to use the bone folder to press it down in place. So we have the top ready. So this, get this out. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to glue it like this, okay? So put some glue, especially here, right here on the edge. You want to make sure that it glues right flush here on the corner. See? So let's use the bone folder to press especially the edge down. Same thing on the other side. So we glued here. We're gonna glue here now, okay? This is such an easy box to make. The only thing you need to know is how to calculate. So which size should I cut the paper, and which size and how should I score it. So the template that I'm selling has everything with different colors, so it matches. You know that everything that's red is the same size. Now all we need to do is just glue the end here. Same thing that we did at the top with the top of the box. So we fold it. It's the easiest way is to just fold it like this. Put your glue. If I have something small, I always make this kind of box, this folding box, because it's faster and it's just one piece of paper. So it's much, much simpler to make than the lidded box. The lidded box you have to do twice. This one is just once, simple and practical. So there you are, we have our box. So let's find our little book. Look at that, how perfect is that? And we just fold it in. We have our box. How cool is that? I love this kind of box. And what I do too, sometimes I wrap around here on the top some kind of ribbon, and it just adds something else. But there you are. You have a perfectly closed, see? It's closed. Perfect box for your little cinch notebook. And the thing that I forgot to do, and I'm gonna do it now, is I usually here, right here at the top, because see how hard it was for me to pull it up? If you just punch a little notch here, let me just hope it's aligned, it makes it easier, okay? So see, it makes it much easier to pull it up. So there you are, you have your beautiful box. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in the PDF, you can find it in the description below, and then you'll be able to customize your box. And here are more, and I'm going to make some more because this is bigger. It's a little bit bigger than this one. I have different sizes here, so I'm going to make this kind of box for all of them. I love it. So there you go. I hope you like this video. Please do leave a comment, and you know, just hit the like button because it does help the channel. Okay, thank you so much, guys, and have fun crafting, because that's what crafting is all about. Thank you, and have a great day.